Trent Alexander-Arnold has signed for Real Madrid. Or has he? Let's have a look at this. So talkSport have released an article saying that he has agreed to join Real Madrid, the biggest club in the world, the Galacticos, the club with the most prestigious history in the Champions League, one of the biggest clubs in world football. They win more often than not, and he's agreed to join there, says talkSport. Sky Sports are saying something quite different. Sky Sports are actually saying this. Sky Sports are saying that Real Madrid are progressing in talks over signing Liverpool defender Alexander-Arnold. It's saying if Real can land the Reds vice captain, it would end a 21-year association with his boyhood club, for whom he is set to make his 350th appearance against Everton. And it says, whilst there is optimism on both sides, much is still to be sorted. And there is no guarantee he will be a Real Madrid player next season. Now, whilst we know that the Spanish club are long-term admirers of Trent Alexander-Arnold, there are lots of noises from within the football community, apparently from within the Trent Alexander-Arnold camp, that his number one priority is to join Real Madrid. And if we actually look here, talkSport are saying, well, Simon Jordan's actually saying he's fortunate. But the key line here is Trent agrees Real Madrid move. And if we go down that article, we'll go down slightly. You can see here that it says Simon Jordan believes that Trent Alexander-Arnold is fortunate to be joining Real Madrid. The talkSport co-host has given his immediate reaction to the news that the right-back is set to leave Liverpool this summer. Now, they go on to say that Alexander-Arnold has agreed to join the Spanish Giants, right? And his deal is going to be 5 years, and it's going to be in excess of £220,000 per week. Now, talkSport saying that it's done, and Simon Jordan giving his reaction to it. Sky Sports saying, hang on, this isn't done. This isn't done. It might get done, it might not, but it's not done. And I guess this is football in general, isn't it? Who do you believe? Are we going with talkSport? Are we going with Sky Sports? What do you go with? Do either of them think they know something the other one doesn't? Does one know something that the other doesn't? For me, let's have a look at this. Okay, I want to see what Simon Jordan said about this. He's always a polarizing figure in football. And he said, Jordan admits that Alexander-Arnold has already shown loyalty to Liverpool, which is fair enough. And he said, in an ideal world, in a sentimental world where those sorts of people live, that's a very interesting dynamic, right? To believe, he's talking about to believe that someone should just play for the one club that they love. But he said, in the real world, what players' responsibility is to be as loyal as their contract dictates and to do their jobs all the way through their contract. Jordan's added, he continued and said, do I think he's as good as people make him out to be? I don't think so. I think he's quite fortunate to be getting a move to Real Madrid. I think he's a very good player. I don't think he features regularly in the England side. I don't think he's an international player that the England setup felt was the most reliable player to have in their setup at times. And I think he's got a great move to Madrid in terms of loyalty. People lose their minds over this nonsense. They lose their minds over what loyalty looks like. Your loyalty in football is to do your job under the auspices of your contract, not engineer outcomes that disadvantage your football club and not go on strike when you don't like something. Other than that, that's the length and breadth of it. Now, I tell you what I find interesting about that is someone like Simon Jordan, let's assume it is done. We can come to that in a minute. Let's assume it is done. Someone like Simon Jordan, a good standing in the game, saying what some other people say, is Alexander-Arnold that good? If he's that good, why has he not cemented a place in the England team? This is basically what Simon Jordan's saying. I'll leave this for you to dictate. Let's be fair. When all is fit, when all is said and done for the last decade, who's been the England right back? It's not been Trent, has it? It's not been Trent Alexander-Arnold. Is that because of his defensive inefficiencies? His defensive deficiencies? Is that why? We know Trent is a fantastic passer of a football, a world-class passer of the ball, a world-class crosser of a football, multiple assists. He grabs a few goals, but why hasn't he nailed down that position? Why do so many people still talk about Jed Spence not being world-class? I'll let you decide. Is he world-class is the question I'm going to ask you. Is he? Is he world-class in certain attributes, but not world-class as a right back? Is he lucky to be getting the move to Real Madrid? Has he signed for Madrid? Are talkSport right? Are Sky Sports right? I'll leave you, the viewers, to decide. Now, let's have a look at the wider ramifications. All the talk for Liverpool Football Club has been about Trent, Virgil van Dijk, and Mo Salah. 3 top footballers that, let's be honest, you don't go and find another Trent Alexander-Arnold with the same skill set. There is no one as good as Virgil van Dijk out there, and there's no one that Liverpool can buy that will replace Mo Salah's goal and assist output. So what do Liverpool do? If this is the first one of the tripod to go, the tripod of the 3 players, if this is the first one to go, what do Liverpool do? Because you have to remember as well, if these players leave, if Trent has indeed left the club, it's on a free transfer. So they could potentially lose Trent, Mo Salah, and Virgil van Dijk for nothing. Now, here's the debate, right? Here's the debate. They're going to win the league. I think we all acknowledge that. So keeping them for this last year of their contract and letting it run down, the risk, has it paid off? Well, they've won the league. But has that paid off in the long term? Is the one league title versus Liverpool's future the payoff? Is the risk worth it? Is the payoff enough? Now, a club like Liverpool are always going to win trophies, but how do they replace those 3 players? Now, with Trent, do you try and find someone with that passing ability, with that crossing ability? Or do you go for a right back that's a little bit more orthodox? A right back that gets up and back, but can defend, won't have the range of passing, won't be able to go and join in with the attacks as much, but offers something different. Some Liverpool fans I've heard talking about Jed Spence from my club. Some of them talking about Aina from Nottingham Forest. Players like that. I'm sure there's other names out there. But do Liverpool want that? How do they replace it? Because by all intents and purposes, whether or not we'll find out later today if this is a done deal or whether it's going to be closer to the summer, losing Trent is a massive part of how Liverpool play. But for me, I would say this. If you had the hypothetical of only losing one of the 3, surely it's Trent. Surely it's Trent because he's a right back. Yeah, he's a good player, but he's a right back and you can cover that. How do you cover? How do you find a centre-half like Virgil van Dijk? You might be able to develop a player to be somewhat like Virgil van Dijk, but there's no one out there off the top of my head that Liverpool can get that comes in and is as good as Virgil van Dijk. There are few centre-halves in the world at Virgil van Dijk's level. So what do Liverpool do? Let me know. Who would you have, if you could only lose one, who would it be? For me, it would be Trent. I'm sure there'll be other people who say, oh, no, it's Salah. Oh, no, it's Virgil. Maybe it's the age factor. For me, you can't replace Virgil van Dijk. You can't replace him. For me, how are you replacing that goal output from Salah? You might be able to get someone who's nearly as good, that gets you somewhat a number of goals. But how do they possibly replace the goal output of Salah and the Rolls-Royce defensive nature of Virgil van Dijk? Let me know. I'm interested to know what you all think. What is going to happen to Liverpool? Does this mean next year if they lose all 3? It's all ifs. If they lose all 3 players, does that set them back 3 or 4 positions in the league? Would they have won the league this year without Van Dijk, without Salah, especially those two, without Trent Alexander-Arnold? I don't think so. So this is a huge crossroads for Liverpool. Is it poor management from the football club? Not from Slot, but is it poor management from the powers that be, FSG, to allow all three of these top footballers to get down to the last few months of their contract and leave the club on a free? Will they all leave on a free? Does anyone think Salah will sign? Will Van Dijk sign? I don't know. What I do know is this. Trent Alexander-Arnold looks like he's on his way out the club after 349 club appearances in all competitions, 22 goals. You can see that more often than not, he plays most games in a season. 33 England caps, which he'll be disappointed by, but he has had Kyle Walker in front of him. A Premier League winner, an FA Cup winner, 2 EFL Cups, a Community Shield, a Champions League, a UEFA Super Cup, a FIFA World Club Cup. What we do know is if he goes to Real Madrid, which it looks like he is, he's going to win a lot more than that. Let me know. A lot to talk about in that video. Let me know, Liverpool fans, football fans, what is happening? Is he going? Is he staying? Is this just all paper talk? Do talkSport News know something we don't? Is it bad management from Liverpool to let all three roll their contracts down? Did they do the right thing keeping them so they've got this year's league title in the bag? Is Simon Jordan right? Let me know. Take care, everyone. Listen, this is going to rumble on, I feel. But if it is true, what a massive transfer.